Hi, it's Gary. Welcome to today's video. So here we are in the My Inky countdown period. And on day one, my wife gifted me this. This is a Kinbor A5 planner. I believe it's meant to be similar to a Hobonichi Techo. So I thought, why don't we spend a little time, have a look through this, and I'll talk you through what I'm actually going to use it for. And we'll also do a little bit of testing just to see how well the paper handles my fountain pens. So join me down on the table, dig on in and have a look. Welcome down to the table. I'm starting on the side just so I can get it all in the camera. This is a Kinbor 2025 A5 planner. My wife gifted this to me on day one of My Inky countdown, and I thought I'd share how I'm planning to use it. So let's move that out of the way. I took it out of the bag. There's nothing exciting seeing things coming out of a bag. So inside there we had this leaflet. So we've got 2025 here. Very pretty. We've got loads of Chinese in there. I have used my translate app on my phone. There's like a poster on the other side, and that's trying to explain some of the pages. Now I've put these page markers in purely because it will help me to get to the right place as we're going through. So as I say, this is a Kinbor. Here we go. And inside we've got at the bottom here 2025 Techo. I believe this is very highly inspired by the Hobonichi Techo. I don't have one, so I can't really say. But price-wise, there is one big difference. This notepad, 30 Aussie dollars from AliExpress. The Hobonichi version, 100 Aussie dollars. So price-wise, a massive difference. And then you're saying, well, Gary, how about the paper then? Because the Hobonichi is Tomoe River paper. So the paper in here is what they call Ba Chuan paper, 52 GSM. And from the research I've done on the internet, this Ba Chuan paper is the Chinese name for Tomoe River. So I believe if it's not Tomoe River paper, is extremely close in terms of the way it performs. So let's take a look through. Well, as I said, I've put these markers in. So at the very front, we've got a calendar page. So we've got 2024, we've got 2025, and then we've got 2026. Can't really see me using that much. What I'm going to do is take these out as we're going through. Going over the page, we then start to see a monthly planner page. So each page has got 2 months on it. We've got a nice grid pattern here. Then what we've got is going down is we've got the day number. It doesn't have the day of the week, so that's one thing I'll add in at the start of each month. What I'm thinking of using this for is I have a long-term planner that I use where I record various stats. So each day, how many hours of sleep I've got, if I've read or not, stuff like that. Rather than using that separate book, I'm going to do it in here, and this is going to be the ideal grid. And we've got a little bit of space at the bottom without any numbers for anything else I might want to add in. And at the moment, I only track about 4 metrics, so this would be perfect. Now, what I'm noticing is we've got a little bit of dark line, seem to be a darker line, slightly darker every 2 spaces, which is, again, for me, perfect because I'm going to use 2 spaces for each entry because I've got quite large writing. So let's get rid of that. And we'll jump forward again into this calendar spread. So here what we've got is 2 pages per month. We've got the month number, we've got the previous month, and we've got the following month, so we can get a quick view of what's going to be happening. Then we've got entries there for each of the days, and we have got in English up here the day. So we've got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Okay, and this is going all the way down. We've got some space around the edges, so down here and also along the bottom. Don't know what I'll use that for. I'm not certain if I'll use this. I do keep my calendar up to date on my electronic device, and that's, to be honest, what I use to drive it. I may use this, though, maybe just to translate some stuff, maybe if I know of things like birthdays, but not 100% certain. So we'll jump forward again. And this is what it refers to as a plan of a new year. Now, what I intend to use this for is each year I have a theme. Still working on a theme for 2025. And I'm actually going to use this, I think, for tracking and managing my theme. So I have an overarching theme. Then each quarter I've got a sub-theme which goes towards meeting that main theme. So I may like have the main theme over here, and then we can get 1, 2, 3, 4 for the 4 quarters. Below that, we've got a little grid there for each of the months. What I'm thinking I'm going to do here is, again, each month I come up with 2 or 3 goals for the month. So I think I'm going to use this for the goals. So I've got them monthly there, and it's all tracked on one page. Just dropping in to interrupt your regular programming. Would you like to help support the channel? If so, please consider joining as a member. As a member, you'll get early access to my videos. I normally upload them a couple of days before they go out, and as soon as they're uploaded, they'll be released to members. There'll also be a shout out at the end of the videos, and then as we get the members coming in, we'll actually chat among ourselves and work out what other perks, what other things you'd like me to add in. You know, would you like maybe a monthly live chat just for members? All down to us. So please, if you can, consider joining the channel. A link will be in the description down below. Jumping forward again, we now get to the daily pages. These are going to be the ones that I'm going to be using, well, as it says, daily. So at the top, we've got the day number, we've got the day name, and it also has a week number. Now, I don't generally use week numbers, but the others will be quite handy. What I'm going to use this for, and to be honest, why I'm mainly interested in it, is I do a daily journal where I write 1 A5 page every day. Now, I've been doing that for over 4 years, but it's in a number of different notepads, and we've been looking for years for something that's reasonably priced that I can use, which has the full 365, the full calendar days, rather than having it spread over multiple books. So that's really what this is going to be useful for. So we've got 1 day per page. What this is different than most of the other ones have the weekends where you have 2 on a day, which doesn't match what I want. So this is going to be really nice. Just doing some quick, we've got the month number there. So yeah, bulk of the pages is this. This paper does feel nice. We will take a closer look at the paper shortly. At the end of that, we have 17 pages of a grid. They're numbered, so we've got 1 through to 17. Now, I've used the 17th one. I've got it covered up. We'll come back to that shortly. Again, I'm not 100% certain what I'm going to use this for. It's nice to have these 17 pages, but the idea with this, it won't actually leave my desk. It will always be at my desk. I may use it as like a log of pens, maybe write each pen in Kinbor. I know I keep that in my database, but it might be nice here to have it. So then I've got in one place all the pens that I've used that year. And I think 17 pages will give me just about enough for that. So that's what I think I'll use it for. Not 100% certain though. I'm going to say skip over that. We'll come back to it. The next section is what they call a schedule. Not going to be using this. It's handy. You know, it's a way for people to get an idea how to break down the day. I don't need that. As I say, I use my electronic calendar for that. Gift list, again, unlikely to use. I may try and find something else to use this page for. I don't really keep a list of gifts. But again, it might be something maybe worth trying to do. Then we've got a 21-day plan. Again, I think this is more of a template so that people get an idea for it. Not something I'll use because I've got my electronic calendar. But it's handy because that helps you with establishing habits by having 21 days where you've got a plan for exactly what you're going to do towards building that habit. We've then got a favourites list. Again, not 100% certain what I'm going to use this one for. There's enough pages there. What I may do is I do my top 5 videos quite regularly. I may actually use this to track my top 5 videos, so what I've picked for each one. I think there's enough pages because we've got 2, we've got 4, 4 pages, so that might be enough for that. Up next, some eye exercises. Again, it's all in Chinese. I can use my Translate app to get hold of them. We've now got some kind of what they call an encyclopedia. So we've got here a picture showing how we get different page sizes. And here we've got actually the measurements for them page sizes. And going down, we've got various bits of information which I need to, again, use my Translate app to get into. We've now got a map of China. That's, again, not going to be really much use for me, but it's going to be interesting to actually be able to visualize. I mean, China's such a big country. And then the next double page, we've got a map of the world. Again, not really something. What I might do, though, is because I do my lives on a Sunday, I might actually start putting in here the different countries that I've got people coming in from. That could be quite interesting to actually map where people are watching my channel from. Then we've got what they call gourmet recommended. So I've looked at a couple of these. These are like recipes, so details about food. Again, it's all in Chinese. So we've got that. Then we've got some what they call solar terms. Again, not looked too much about this. And then at the end, we've got here where we can put our personal information. I will fill this in. I say it's not intended to leave my desk though. So that's a quick tour through. The next thing is how does actually handle ink. So this is on page 17. What I've done is I've already written with some inks and pens. I'm just going to turn it on its side because to me, we should always write in a video. So we're going to take a look at some writing. So the first pen, this is a Hongdian 960. So we go Hongdian 960 with a fine nib. The ink, it's by Diamine. And it's Bliss. This paper does seem to handle these pens really well. We'll come and look a bit closer in a second. Next up, Faber-Castell Hexo. This has got a broad nib and it's a really generous writer. So we've got a Faber-Castell Hexo, the broad nib. The ink in here by Diamine. It's a Thunderbolt. Our next pen, let's move this up. Opus 88 Coloro. Again, it's got a broad nib. The ink in it is the same Diamine Bliss as in that Hongdian. So we got Opus 88 Coloro, broad nibbed, and Diamine Bliss. Then the final pen I'm going to write with, this is a very wet combo. This is one which may go through, I believe, but this is a Visconti Homo Sapiens. It's got a broad 18 karat gold nib. The ink is Diamine Fireside Snug. So we've got a Visconti Homo Sapiens. Not sure what happened there. Homo Sapiens with a broad nib. The ink, as I say, Diamine Fireside Snug. Just going to redo that. I think I'm getting low on ink. There we go. I say this to me is always a wet writing combo. Now let's take a look at what we've got. So at the top here we've got a Jinhao 100 with a broad Yoho nib and Diamine Arctic Blast. Now this is a sheening and a chameleon ink. So we can see plenty of that red sheen coming through. And I can see a little bit of the blue chameleon as well. Below that we've got That Pen Bloke with a broad Yoho nib and Diamine Yule Log. This is a shimmering ink. So again, yeah, we've got that nice base brown colour. Then we've got like a coppery pinky type shimmer coming through. Hopefully the camera can catch this. Next up, the Hondian N7 with a fine nib. Now this is a shimmer and a sheening. So it's got diamine garland. There we go. I very rarely see any shimmer with this, but I'm seeing loads and loads of sheen. Below that, we've got the same ink in a Sailor Pro Gear Slim, which has got a broad 14 karat gold nib. There we go. Again, loads of that sheen. And I am seeing, especially on the G's, I'm seeing a little bit of the shimmer. We've then got a Marjon P139, which has got a Fude nib. And in there, we've got a sheen and shimmer ink. So we've got Diamine All the Best in there. Don't you see here, the beautiful. We've got the red, we've got the bright blue shimmer. That's coming all the way through. Really pretty to look at. And there, I've just done the line so we can see any line differences. Next up, from Jinhao, the 9019. So that's one of those number 8 size nibs. It's got a fine nib and the ink, Dominant Industry Lager. So a fairly flattish ink no matter what I use it on. Then we've got the pens we've used today. So the Hondian 960, standard ink. I do see some shading coming through there. The Faber-Castell Hexo, broad nib. So yep, that Diamine Thunderbolt. Opus 88 Coloro, again that broad nib with Diamine Bliss. The colour looks very different than what we were seeing from the fine nib on that Hondian. And then last but not least, that Visconti Homo Sapiens and Fireside Snug. I don't see any feathering, I don't see any issues on this side of the paper. Let's turn it over and see what we've got. No bleed through. And look at this, next to no show through. You know, really is not bad. Remember, 52 GSM paper performing very, very well. So that's it. That's what I'm going to be using this Kinbor A5 Techo for. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. What do you think of this Kinbor planner? 2025? Wow, doesn't the time fly by? Do you know, I can remember when the year 2000 came around. Anyway, drop your comments down below. Love to know what your thoughts are on this, and if you've got access to a hub and each or something very similar, love to know your thoughts on what you think the differences are. Please drop those comments down below. Let's kickstart the conversation. Please hit that thumbs up button every time you like, every time you comment, just helps with the YouTube algorithm. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel so that you can get new videos as I release them. I'll talk to you again soon.